In this video, I'm going to show you why four-wheel drive doesn't actually help you stop. However, I'm going to show you how it helps you to maintain control. A lot of people understand exactly what's happening when you take your four-wheel drive up a hill. A few people actually understand what's happening when you're coming down the hill. And that's where a lot of drivers get it wrong, because when you're coming down the hill, it's not the brakes that's controlling your speed. It should be your engine, and I'm going to show you how. Now, the problem on a real truck is we can't actually see how gravity is working against us, for us, or whatever on the actual truck here, because of its size and weight. It's hard to actually catch a visual description of what's happening. However, on this channel, we are very visual, and I'm visual, so I've got the perfect tool to demonstrate all of these principles, because the physics is still the same. Doesn't matter if you've got a 6,000-pound truck or you've got a scale truck. One of the key things that we're going to talk about here is differentials, right? And whether you're using a model RC or you're using a real truck, the thing about the differential is it doesn't care what the scale is. All it cares about is resistance. So we got resistance in the small truck and we got resistance in the big truck. So that's what we're going to model here and demonstrate for you today. There's going to be a few terms that we're going to use here today, and it's going to be open differential, limited slip, and lockers. So I want to educate those that don't actually know the difference between those, and that's really going to help here in this demonstration. First, we'll start with an open differentials. The open differential works mostly, or we'll say primarily, on the front of a 4x4 pickup truck. So, and for that matter, your two-wheel drive car, everything that has steering is got an open differential, respectfully. What that does is it allows the front wheels to operate at different speeds. And without the actual open differential, we need one tire to speed up around a corner and the other one to actually slow down around the corner. So the way that they achieve that is with an open differential. Now, the second term that we're going to use is that limited slip on trucks. So limited slip usually applies to the rear axle, and what happens is when one tire begins to slip, like let's say on the snow here, actually maybe I can do a burnout, but so when one starts to go, the other one will actually lock up and both wheels will actually start to spin. Let's see if we can't demonstrate that for you on the real truck, actually. So as you can see in that demonstration, as soon as one tire begins to spin, the other one actually locks up and it gains traction as well. So that's limited slip. A locker, so when your both tires on the same axle are locked together, so they're going to rotate at exactly the same speed, and you have the ability to turn that on or off. So just to clarify the concepts that I'm trying to show in this video, this is not about braking. This is about a control measure for 4x4 systems that will help you slow down or maintain control as you're coming to a stop. And once you've actually locked up all your brakes and everything is skidding, doesn't matter whether you got four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, it doesn't matter, it's all the same at that point. So I'm not talking about braking in this video, I am talking about the control mechanisms that are used in 4x4 systems. Okay, so saying that, the RC truck that I'm going to use here to model this demonstration, it doesn't show braking distance, but it will show you how traction and resistance move through your drivetrain. I have got locking differentials on this particular RC truck. Right now they're not locked. So what we have here is an open differential system. And if I rotate one tire forward, the other one rotates backwards. Okay, that's the way that they are. Now if I lock this differential, okay, it's locked now, and I turn it, they're both going the same way. Okay, so now they're locked and they both go the same way. So they're actually sharing the load equally, no matter if I'm turning or not. If I turn the differential off again, the locker, again, I'll spin one way and one goes backwards. And this is how it splits the speed ratio and helps work with each other. Now, if I start the vehicle and I start running it, all the tires will move forward. Okay, so all the tires are moving forward, and as you're steering, you'll you know, one side needs to go farther than the other, so one will speed up and one will slow down. And I'll show you that if I actually stop this tire, did you see the speed increase on the other one? It's actually going twice as fast. You see that? So that's how your differential works in the front. Now if we apply this to traction while you're out there and you're stuck in the snow, what's actually happening is one of these wheels, and believe it or not, it's the one that's got the most grip, it locks here because it's actually got the most traction, but the other one is the one that's spinning in the snow. This is why you get stuck. And if your vehicle has a locking differential, this is something to keep in mind, is that when you have a differential locked in, you don't have the ability to have one tire move farther than the other as you're trying to make corners or, you know, turn in the snow at all. So locking differentials are good for getting you in and out of a situation. They're situational use, really. They're not for regular driving. So that's how those are set up. Okay, so let's try and demonstrate how the lock differential takes longer to steer. Okay, so we're going to unlock everything. Now let's see how much room we need to steer here. Okay, so that's with the differentials not locked. So that's open differential. Now we're going to lock the differentials this time. Okay. Let's see how much more effort it takes to turn. Okay. Back the truck up. So you can see on the lines here, without having the differentials locked, we could turn tighter than if we had the differentials locked up. Okay, so I'm going to try and demonstrate how the differentials always choose the side with the least amount of resistance, and that's going to determine which tire actually moves. And right now for this demonstration here, you can see that we're on a surface that is allowing for very similar traction or resistance in this particular model. So what I'm going to do here is, I've got my differentials are actually all off right now, but I'm going to hold the truck back and you'll see that all four tires here should spin okay? If they've got the same amount of resistance. Let's translate that to a hill where we might unload 2 of those wheels and put more resistance on other wheels. I'm going to give us a slippery surface here. Hopefully this will work out for us. And you can actually see, so I can hold that right there, how the rear tire on one is spinning and the front tire on the other one is spinning. So these are the 2 tires, one on each axle, that has the least amount of resistance. And this is why we get stuck, because the tires with the traction don't actually get to move. Back axle and the front axle. And this is exactly why we get stuck. You can see on the back, that tire there's got lots of traction. It's even squishing the tire because the weight is loaded there. And same with this one here, the weight is loaded on the front. If we can get those 2 tires to move, we'd be able to get out of that situation. Let's lock both of the axles. So we got 2 lockers done now. We'll just move a little bit here. Now we'll be able to move all 4 tires with the same effort, and it has no problem going up that ramp. It's actually pushing my toolbox now. That's how much traction it's got. So one of the things I wanted to show you here was I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on the one side so the other tires have the most amount of grip. So I don't want people to think that it's going to be the opposites at any time. It's truly a reflection of which 2 tires don't have, or which 2 tires have the least amount of resistance. Those are the ones that turn. So it doesn't have to be diagonal. It can be 2 on the same side. It doesn't really matter. So as we're using our 4-wheel drive system and we're going uphill or even just on the flat, everything is driven from the engine through your transmission and through your transfer case, and then split between your 2 axles, right? So it's the engine that's driving the tires. And so when you get the differential, getting traction to the front axle, the rear axle, it's going to the side with the least amount of resistance. Okay, now remember what I was saying about how your 4-wheel drive system works, so that everything's from the engine pushing through to the wheels? Well, when we're going downhill, it's actually the opposite. And this is what people fail to grasp. When you're coming down a hill, decelerating, what happens is, if you're in a snowy situation like it is out here right now and you're going down a hill, the resistance in the tire that has the traction that is pushing back through your transfer case, through your transmission to your engine to help you slow down so it maintains control. It's literally the opposite of climbing. Climbing is engine pushing that way, and decelerating down a hill is from your tires moving things back towards your engine. So that's the difference. Okay, so we're going to go down this hill here, and what I'm going to do is we're going to go down into first gear. I got L1 right here, and I'm just essentially going to get going down this hill a little bit and feed off the brakes. I'm not going to touch the brakes at all. I'm going to let the resistance of the tires that are getting the most grip bring me down this hill. So I'm not using my brakes. Actually, I'm going to use them right here for a second. There's a little bit of a divot there. And now I'm off the brakes. I'm just going to let the differentials decide which tires have the most resistance or the most traction coming down this hill. And I literally feel no difference coming down this hill. Sliding, I'm not sliding at all. I'm just staying nice and straight. So that's the difference between being in control. Just gonna apply the brakes here. That's a controlled descent going down the hill. And if that just clicked for you, I'm glad it did. That's exactly what this channel is about. Just simple explanations with no fluff, and that's why people subscribed, and I appreciate every one of you. Well, stick around for my next video. Maybe you're one that drives through the mountains and stuff like that, like I do. But if you don't and you want to kind of learn about what I take with me, how I should pack, and you can see actually how much the environment can change from one range to the next. I got something in store for you. Come along with me next week. We'll see you there.